Hello, how y'all doing? It is welcome to Saturday Night Jaw Harp Live. Start off with this harp here. This is the harp from 2 weeks ago's video. It'll be 2 weeks ago from Friday of drop tuning. Let's see where it's at. Drop tuned it to a E2, or dropped the pitch of it down. It was untuned. I did a tutorial on 3 different ways to drop the pitch of a harp. So what harps is everybody into? What are you playing? What are you up to? Patrick Bodine, how are you doing? Hi, hello. How's the weather out yonder? It was 85 degrees here in Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Celsius, but it was a nice, cool day here in Kansas. Did some adjusting on a Mohan I got about a year ago that was too tight, that was clicky. Adjusted it on the anvil today. Patrick Bodine says Sisiuk, and it's hot. Where are you at, Patrick Bodine? I believe you're the wandering harpist, so you could be anywhere in the United States. Playing my new Begvana brass from the Harvey. Oh, how are they? I have Porky Miller's mailing me one of the Begvana brass, and I'm excited to try them because Begvana is getting really good at making harps. South Mississippi. Oh yeah, it's probably humid there too. I have been to Mississippi, but it was at Thanksgiving time, so it wasn't at all hot or humid. I'm doing a lot of stuttering there. But I'm also, it's coming from the diaphragm. I'm really filling my belly up, and I'm really exhaling my belly out, back inward, forming that belly out and belly inward, kind of a big belly, then a cave. Pitargos16 says, hey, I just started playing the jaw harp. I find the channel really useful. Oh, cool. And if you have any questions at all, be sure to comment, and I will try to make those videos. I got a video coming up in 2 weeks. The subscriber Runrig97 requested a tutorial on how to drop the tuning on harps, and that's coming out here in 2 weeks. Next Friday's video is kind of depressing. I didn't like making it, but it's got to be done. It's for a good cause. Anyways, we're going to keep playing. I've been playing a lot of the Sisolka. The Sisolka, I believe, are going to be going up in the next couple of weeks, and you're going to see an unboxing on them super soon. Actually, you might even see it Friday. Here's a D2 Sisolka Rabach. I like the Austrian pattern, and these got some snap to them. And Sisolka makes his trigger shaped like this. Super easy inward-outward play, too. Now I'm getting the manual draw. I'm just pressing lightly at the back of it. Harp with this big of a frame, it's really easy to get that draw right there. And I'm just pressing the reed forward. You can see where the reed position, the resting position is right in the center. I'll just press it forward just a touch. And you can see there, I actually made a mistake there. I had my thumb too far forward, and this is what happened. It killed it. It killed it right away. Babcock Harper, do your trigger springs ever break? Can you fix it? Yes, they can and do break, depending on how much you play a harp, and also if you're playing it aggressively and if you're playing it outward as well, is going to expedite the process. But yes, certain harps you can fix. Some of it might be cost preventative because it might be cheaper to buy a new harp. But as it becomes more and more impossible to get Russian harps, I might just start fixing Russian harps. Luckily, there's going to be a lot of good harps coming out of Estonia, coming out of Czech Republic, coming out of Rajasthan. Rajasthan's doing a lot of really good things with Morchang. The new shipment of Mohan should be ready in a couple weeks, maybe here in the States in 6 or 7 weeks, hopefully. But yeah, excited for the Mohan. We get one Mohan shipment a year, and it's always a killer shipment of several hundred Morchang. Sometimes 100, sometimes more than 100. Love my Morchang. Which one's your favorite Morchang? I have so many different Morchang in my collection, but I probably could not choose a favorite. I really, really enjoy the base Mohan. For fast play, Big Vana base. Gorka, I get down on Gorka quite a bit. Gorka aren't the most sensitive, but they're very hauntingly something. I don't know how to explain a Gorka. They just are what they are. Here's a Gorka Peacock. I got burned on a Snoopy Harp from Guitar Center. I need a good one. I love the bass one you played last week. Those are probably a Sisolka. Go on the harpery.com. Get yourself a Big Vana bass tailless. They are really killer and not even expensive. Good for inward, good for outward play. I recommend that as first jaw harps for beginners because not only are they really easy to play, they're sensitive enough and springy enough, and they just strike a balance up of a ton of different techniques you can do on them. You get advanced on a Big Vana, no problem. Especially the new ones. The older ones, when he first started making harps, were not as good, but now he's approaching Mohan quality, although his harps are easier to play than Mohan, especially for fast players. And so we're going to go back to the Gorka. Yeah, go on our beginner page on the harpery.com. Go on the jaw harps for beginners. It's going to be the first option. It's going to take you to the Big Vana page. Get the Big Vana bass tailless, and the new ones are all have artwork on them. They're really cool, I think. Porky Miller gets the harps. He ships me a few harps, but now the bulk of the instruments go to Porky Miller. We're going to have some Ovcharenko coming, some Oleg Niga, deep bass holotrope are going to be coming, and the Orbit. I think the Orbits are the ones about as big as my head. So that was cool. I didn't even mean to. I touched the reed with my tongue. I wonder if I do that again, what'll happen? I definitely probably wouldn't want to do that all the time because it'd braid my tongue, but cool, what do they call that? A slap mute or a tongue mute? I think Nico Cornelius does a lot of those. We said they liked the bass I played last week. This is Perrin by Sisolka. Brass Morchang are so cool. Oh, I agree. Want to hear a brass Mohan? Maybe someday in the future I'll get some more brass Mohan. Mohan is reducing the amount of instruments he makes, and they're taking longer to get. So if anybody wants a brass Mohan, I can request them, but it's probably going to be like a year and a half before we have them. That'd be on a new forging because all the Rajasthani harps are sand cast. I'm playing at State Fair buskering for tips. It's a county fair. Oh, cool. I don't have any experience busking. Is it buskering or busking? I don't have any experience busking, but I wish you the best of luck. This is a Mohan Peacock. I just adjusted it outward a little bit because Mohan sometimes gaps his harp so tight, like I can't even play them reliably. So I laid them on the anvil and did just a light amount of work. Spread them gaps, and it is just stellar. See there with the other one? The other one has the draw. It's a little bit duller. At that pause at the end, didn't know Mohan did draws. Yes, he does, and they're very expensive. Could you hear the difference after you spread the gaps? Yes, I was getting a lot of clicks out of it, so it's no longer clicking. But it didn't really reduce the volume much. It reduced the saturation by a tiny amount. Now it's a little bit cleaner. But yes, anytime you spread or close gaps, there is a difference. What I like to do is, especially if harps click, I will spread the tips of the gaps out slightly because 80% of your side deflection, which is what the reed does, wobble and whatever when you hit it, occurs at the first probably 20% of the knee bend. Have you ever been playing on Rajasthani? I had one Rajasthani style lesson and I didn't follow up on it, so I never got any better at the Rajasthani technique. But let's play this bass parent. I've been getting weird on this harp. Sitting down here, just breathing rhythms for 5 minutes or so, trancing out. The Perrin bass have very flexible triggers. Look at that. I like the buttery feel. And I've been looking for harps that consistently have that buttery feel. I can make them. I can make harps like that, but my harp making time and my available free time is too low for that. But I highly suggest if you're looking for a real flexible, deep bass, the Perrin. And that's named after, I believe, the Slavic god of lightning and thunder. I'm like, oh, that's a cool ode. La la la. And I am smiling. Hello, House Canada. I'm touching the tip of my tongue. La 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 la. Not to the front, but to the back. La 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 la. If you roll your tongue like this, la la, you get a really hollow sound. I guess you just use a microphone like harmonicas do. Oh, message Nico Cornelius for microphone tips and busking. That'd be a good idea. He has more expertise in that area than me. But I know that some ways that they've done it is had a microphone taped to their wrist. So when you're holding the harp, the mic is right here. And then it goes to I think a cordless speaker, but I believe that's effective for busking. Because if not, you're going to want a ridiculously loud harp. You'd want like a Masco or a Zilagi Blackfire or something. Do you own any bone frame harps? Do these even exist? I do not own any harps made out of bone. I do own a Suzap, which I am uncertain of its... Oh, there's its whereabouts. Hold on. Small uniform gaps are best. I would say... I would add one thing to that comment. Small uniform gaps with a consistent or semi-consistent compression and a release at the end, because as the harp compresses, just an analog. If you want to do an analog of what the harp's doing when it's up against your teeth, stand in front of like a white lit computer screen or in front of a brightly lit wall or just looking out a window and look at your gaps and take the harp, find your gaps and squeeze it, and you will see the inconsistencies of where the reed touches the frame. A lot of times harps that compress and touch at the tip of the harp first with a larger gap in back, those are the first ones to click, because that's where all your side deflection happens. 80% of your side deflection happens in the first 20% of that knee bend. So just right there is most of the problem with clicks. So it's best to have a harp with a slight relief at the end. So as it's put up against your tooth, if there's any compression, which in all harps there's a little bit of compression, it doesn't touch there first, because that's where all the side deflections are occurring. Some harps, since watching, $2,000 a harp. Oh, cool. 35 years ago as a kid, I had a Snoopy harp, and you could play it out of the box. And I got one that makes 0 sound. Oh yeah, Snoopy harps used to be decent, beginner level harps. Now they are just it's like putting a string on a brick and calling it a guitar is what a Snoopy is now. They've been reduced to almost unplayability. I would say Snoopy is the most dangerous of harps. Anyways, somebody commented, do you have any bone harps? Do they? Oh, hi, Joanne. How are you? And yes, we got those recipes, and we will try that, Aunt Joanne. Anyways, somebody asked if I have any bone harps and if there's even such a thing. Yes, there are bone harps, and that's one of the older styles of harps. I do not have that. I do have a Susap, which I think this is bamboo. It almost broke my teeth. Yeah, Snoopy's are tooth breakers, and they've started renaming them. Since I released that video of how bad Snoopy harps are, it seems like there's a lot more variants of Snoopy. Now there's a first note jaw harp, and there's a hillbilly jaw harp, and there's a bluegrass jaw harp, and they're all the same exact Snoopy harp, probably made in the same factory. They're just repackaging them to try to trick people into buying them. So it's important, if you bought a Snoopy harp, get online, and if it, it hasn't been past 30 or 60 or 90 days, get a full refund and mail that thing back, because people will eventually stop selling them if every time they sell them it costs money. So we need to make it so there are no more Snoopy harps, or at least if you're Trophy Music and you're manufacturing Snoopy harps and you want some advice on how to make them playable, you can always email me if you're out there, but I doubt Trophy Music watches any of my videos. It's been way too long, 5 years. Oh, cool. This is a Susap, and I've got coconut oil on my fingers, so I might end up starting. There we go. And you rock it like a fulcrum, and it goes up against the lips. And that's probably the oldest instrument in my collection, or oldest design. The Susap is found in Papua New Guinea, and it may date back to Stone Age period. I don't know exactly, but yeah, super old school. I like it too. It looks like kind of like a fish. Steve Kinwald makes these. I think there's still a couple left on the Harpery. What else should we play? I feel like playing something I made. I don't play harps I make often on live. I do a lot for meditation. I lost my collection. Thank goodness. Oh, bummer. Or you lost your collection of Snoopies. Yeah, here's one I made. Was it? Is this 1024? Old junk harp. That Susap was deep. Yeah, a little bit. You can't tune a fish, lol. Yeah. Another sip of this tea. It was too cloudy out here to make sun tea today, but last night I made some really good sun tea. Yes, you can, says Nunez. Oh, probably so. Oh, how are we in 17 minutes already? I need to wrap it up. Got a treasure hunt gauntlet to do with my son this evening, and we're watching an episode of Stranger Things. That show's out there a little bit. I love that show. I love y'all. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more Harper. Keep your harps clean, keep them dry, keep them old, and most of all, be good to each other. And we should have a new video, either one of the 3 videos that I filmed coming out on Friday. Don't know why I feel it. I have a strange love for the jarp sound. Yeah, it's a good type of brain butter. It's tribal. Oh yeah, it's an overtone instrument, so it's a fairly ancient style of musical instrument, which was my first harp. My first harp. I don't think it's hanging up in here. There's the first harp I made up there. But my first harp was kind of a nicer version of a Snoopy harp. It was a Hobby Lobby mouth harp, and it was fairly decent for a Hobby Lobby mouth harp, but it still was a very quiet, tooth-breaking, stiff Snoopy harps. That would be my first real jaw harp. My first exposure to the jaw harp, I think I was maybe 5 or 6 or 7. I was a kid, and I remember my parents were watching a Western, and there was like nighttime on a wagon trail camp, and there was a covered wagon, and I remember hearing this strange twangy harp sound of somebody playing a jaw harp, and I asked my mom, I'm like, well, what is that? She's like, oh, it's a musical instrument that looks kind of like a horseshoe that you play in your mouth. I'm like, oh, cool. And I forgot about that until I was an adult, until I had a hernia surgery, and I was in Hobby Lobby, and I seen the jaw harp, like, oh, there's the horseshoe thing, so I had to buy it. And it inspired me to get weird on the harp and all this other behavior. I love y'all. Harp out. We'll end playing a Romanoff. Love y'all. Harp out. And the live stream ended rightly. Love y'all.